All right, it is time. It is time to get this over with. And I mean it in an honest sense. I'm not going to tell you the show was bad, because it was not. But was it exciting? No. I know people are going to say, dude, what is wrong with you? It was exciting. Really? Everything we knew was going to happen happened. Everything we knew that was going to happen happened, except for one return, of course. When it came to Tonga Loa, he came back, and I'll talk about the U.S. title match in a minute. But the former Hikuleu did show up like we predicted he was going to. So legitimately speaking, everything that we knew that really could happen in this show did. Nothing special. This is honesty. Nothing was special here. Nothing was out of place. It was exactly what we thought was going to happen on this show. And it wasn't just predictable. It was unavoidable, to be honest. Let's make this very clear before I get to this review. This was unavoidable due to the fact of how the schedule for Silver Lake WWE is. Let's make it very clear. Silver Lake WWE has a monthly schedule, and they're so constrained in certain points, like Crown Jewel, like when it's going to come to the next one that's going to be on the 13th, which is Evolution for the women, and then after that the next one, and then the next one. There's almost no time for development of characters, of stories, nothing. So what do? They leave it. And in honesty, that's not fun. Now, I'm sure you're going to say, well, the matches were great. Well, I'm not telling you the matches weren't great. But the point is, what makes wrestling wrestling is not always having great matches. It's not always having compelling characters. It's about making sure the matches and the compelling characters have a progression. That we see them rise, or we see them fall, or make any sense whatsoever. When you look at some of the matches here, it make no damn sense. Let's start. The men's King in the Ring, Cody Rhodes versus a Randy Orton. They decided, and let's make this clear, it was not 100% a bad match, it wasn't. But someone in the back decided to protect Randy to make his back the issue. His lower back that he had spinal fusion on. That was the key of it. He does a superplex off the top turn rope with Cody. Guess what? His back now acts up out of nowhere, and they make it the focus. Now, it doesn't mean the story was bad, but it was obvious they wanted to tease again Cody Rhodes possibly turning heel. But then you see a Randy Orton acting heelish as well. And that's not a problem, because we knew Randy was going to do whatever he was going to do. But seeing how Cody was becoming ruthless, people are going to say, well, there you go. There is a progression. He's now showing signs of becoming a heel. Well, here's the thing. We've known he had to. For quite a while. He's done being a face. It is overdue for him to become a heel. So this isn't a surprising thing. This is what we expect it to be. But we expect, as fans, a little more story to make it mean more. And we didn't get that. We got the straight match showing Cody becoming ruthless a little bit more at a time. And he won the match. He spoke about what's going to happen with Punk, what's going to happen with a John Cena, and when he's going to SummerSlam to meet one of them, which was fine. He's king of the ring. He had the right to say it. So, seeing Randy up the ramp, and Cody puts him over. He says, the one I face, a future Hall of Famer, my mentor, my friend, all that mess. Again, it's exactly what we expect. We expect him to tease slightly a possible heel turn eventually, which we know he has to do because he's reached the end. We do not want to continue I'm putting in respect while still having allergy problems. Ugh. My throat is itching like crazy. But we know that Cody must turn heel. In fact, I said this last year, that Cody should turn heel so he would be angry due to the fact that his dad never got that damn title. He finally got the title. He's pissed off that he could never give it to anybody. In other words, his dad. And he's going to make it about himself now. That's what I thought he should be, but it never went there. Now, we get this. The teasing of him turning heel. Will he do it immediately? No. And that's going to be a major issue due to the fact of the time constraints of these pay-per-views. Let's make it very clear. The next pay-per-view is only a couple of weeks away. And it's for the women. And it's going to have to be some development for the women. So the men are going to have to be put to the wayside if they're going to make Evolution mean something. So Cody in this ain't going anywhere. Next. The street fight. Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. Let's make this very clear. Did you honestly believe Raquel was going to win a match? And more than that, win a match that didn't really mean anything. Let's make this very clear. This match should never happen. It should never happen here. You know why? Because there's no Liv Morgan. They have to do something with Raquel until they strip the titles from her, or they're going to give her a partner, which could be, guess who, Roxanne Perez, who was involved in the match, which was wise to do. She's part of Judgment Day. She should be helping Raquel, and there you go. Now that Liv's not there, she's filling in the gap. So I truly believe Raquel and Roxanne will become tag champions and they're going to defend those titles. At least unless they are going to go there when it comes to Alexa Bliss and a Charlotte Flair. Because they really don't have nothing for Alexa. And they definitely don't got anything for Charlotte right now. So this is what we got. But it shouldn't even happen. It felt like a wasted match that should have been on Raw. Now, I'm not saying the quality of the match was bad. No. But if you're going to be honest here, in a street fight, did you really want to see a street fight on this show or something more substantial? Because that's what I wanted. I want something more substantial than a street fight that could have happened on Raw or SmackDown. And it takes nothing away from Raquel. It takes nothing away from... It doesn't take anything away from the Annihilator. It doesn't. But the problem here is it should be on Raw and SmackDown. And their match shouldn't have happened anyway because Liv is there. That's the reason why they're doing it. This is what we got. Next match. Let me give it to you like this. When is Killer Kross's, and I'm not calling him Kyrian, Killer Kross's contract up? I've seen JD's video talking about they're going to have a possible storyline for him. They're going to actually build him. But to be honest, I don't want them to be building him. I don't. This situation with Killer Kross has been going on for years now. He has gotten nowhere in the company in the 2 stints he's worked. And to be honest, I don't want to see him be pushed. Particularly that the push, I don't even think it's going to work. Because if you're going to be honest here, and the rumors about him not wanting to take a bump was a dumb one, he needs to leave. I truly believe he can go anywhere else. He can go back to TNA. He can go over to MLW. He can go to AEW. I truly believe he should leave. There's nothing there unless it's about this. Of course, his contract is not up yet. And there could be more time to it unless he did an extension. But if it's this, he can get in anywhere else. He can get in AEW now. Trust me, they will give him that opportunity. Of course, he's going to be screwed because they don't push big guys very well. But he wants more money. He'll get it over there. Tony will give it to him. I just don't want to see him in WWE anymore. Moving on. And I know you're going to say, wait a minute, what about Sammy? Sammy is Sammy. Sammy is Middle Eastern. I'm not surprised he won. Let's make it clear. They always want to make it special. Moving on. The match that I was interested in, the only real match I was very interested in, because I wanted to see where they're going to go with Hikuleo. Because we knew the rumors were that Hikuleo was going to show up. We didn't know about Tangaloa. Hikuleo. We'd had rumors that he's already traveled to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia. Took my medicine, which makes me loopy, and honestly, I feel loopy. The match was fine. But let's make it very clear. I didn't expect Tangaloa, and it's good to see him. He's healthy. He was able to do the match. But then seeing Hikuleo, I was not surprised that he laid out a Jacob Fatu. It was what they needed to do. And now, the one who wanted some gold around his waist got it. He got his gold around his waist. Solo Sikoa is the U.S. champion. The question is going to be where they're going to go with it. Are you going to have Jimmy team up with Jacob Fatu, which I do believe they probably will. Question is going to be, how long will it be before they actually team up? And will they have conversations? They don't do always conversations to make it seem right. I'm hoping they will. And this is what I'm waiting for. I want to know how Jimmy is going to talk with Jacob. They are cousins, they're legitimately relatives. I want to see them build into it and make it mean something. The match that I knew what was going to be. Let's make it very clear. There was only one reason Asuka was in that match, and that was the job. I did not expect Asuka to win that damn match. I would have been happy if she did, because she just came back, and they make her look great, but they always do this, especially before pay-per-view, and we got Jade Cargill versus Asuka for the title Queen of the Ring. You knew what was going to happen, guys. You knew what was going to happen. You cannot tell me that you didn't know that Jade Cargill was going to win that bitch, because she was. But the question was Naomi going to be shown in any time? Not to go out there and go after a title because she hasn't had the match yet. It will be at SummerSlam. But you would think maybe they may show her in the back grinning or something, just waiting and chopping at the bit. But we still got a bit to wait. So I'm not expecting her to really just take out Jade, because she'll go after Jade, but she's not going to take her out again. It's about what I agree with JD. He made it very clear he doesn't care how they build up into it. They just need to build up into Naomi winning the damn title. He does want Bianca to turn heel. But here's the thing for me. I don't really care about Bianca turning heel. Of course, it makes sense for her to turn heel. Only thing I care about is Naomi becoming champ. Because, let's make this clear. I'm making this very clear, guys. I'm saying it now. If Naomi does not become champ, it 100% legitimizes everything I said. Everything. If Naomi fails to cash in and win, I said it clearly that Naomi should have never came back. She should have just stayed as Trinity, her real self, and gone either to AEW or stayed in TNA, where she should have stayed in TNA. Because if she doesn't win a damn title, only thing she does is do filler work. And after working so hard to make this heel character mean something, if she doesn't win, it legitimizes everything I say, and I will not like it. Because I want to see her become champ and stay a heel, because she's been doing really good work. She's underappreciated, underutilized, and underestimated how good of a pro wrestler and an actress she is. Let's see how anyone disagree with that, because you can't. Because she proved it. But admittedly, I got to say this. I know I could do a gut report. I'm not too fond of knowing that she's going to do OnlyFans. If you don't know, yes, she's got an OnlyFans now. She does. And I would expect Naomi Trinity of all people, to be smart enough not to do an OnlyFans. Yes, she's going to make great money. She'll make way more money than she would basically doing what she's doing. But I really was kind of hoping she wouldn't go down that route like Mandy Rose, but there you go. All right. Let's get to the last match. Undisputed WWE Championship, CM Punk versus John Cena. I knew a couple of things was going to happen. One, John could be playing with the fans because they're very, very vocal and real. What is it? Rida. I can't pronounce things correctly. In Saudi Arabia, where they were, I knew he was going to ham it up to them. Possibly acting a little bit, well, he wasn't a betweener. He did some pops. He did his old stick. And then seeing that Wade Barrett was saying, what the hell is going on? I'm not surprised he did it. But I knew he was going to have to be still a heel. He can't turn face now. It makes no sense. Makes no sense for him to turn face. Now, we did get the ref basically nailed by John when he was trying to avoid. And CM Punk won. He nailed him with 2 GTSs. Not back to back, but the second one, he nailed him. Was it the third one? I think the third one, he nailed him. He should have won, but he did not. But as he's getting up calling for a ref, you see a little Seth coming out. And I knew Seth not cashing in. No. I was not excited. It makes no sense for Seth to cash in here. Not in Saudi Arabia. It makes no sense. So see him come out with his crew. They more attack CM Punk than Cena. And Seth and Cena do get a little face-to-face, pretty much saying, you know what? What do you think you're doing? Not on my watch. And he tries to basically add it to adjust a little bit of Seth. Doesn't really happen much. But Seth made it very clear he is never letting CM Punk ever win a championship. So he screws him over again. And we get this. And I'm not surprised. I didn't expect CM Punk to win here. I didn't. And after it was over, after Punk was still laid out on the mat, because he did get hit in the face with the briefcase. And you got Seth and his boys go back. And yes, Penta did attack Braun Breaker. And then Sammy attacked Braun Breaker. And then Penta did lay both Braun and Sammy out. And they all went to the back. The person that was the last one there was CM Punk, laid out, trying to get up, and hamming it up to the crowd, trying to get them to do like this, try and get them to give him a lot of incentive to try and sit up. Look, I'm going to say this. Did Punk basically sell out because he went to Saudi Arabia? No. Nope. He didn't sell out. Do I believe that everyone else is going to think he sold out? Of course. Do I believe he was lying when he said going to Saudi Arabia, going to get that blood money is shit? No. But there are levels to someone understanding what they got to do. He chose to go back to WWE, and he knew there was a good chance that this would come up. And being now the type of guy that he now understands what it means to be a team player. Because, let's make it clear, he does understand now. Before he wasn't. Because he knew he was being treated like shit. But now he's more of a team player. He is. So I'm not surprised he did it. Many people would say he sold out. He didn't sell out. He just decided, look, I'm not doing this just because of money, which he was. But I'm also doing this because I want to make up for a lot of the stuff I did wrong. When he was in the company, when he was outside the company, when he buried the place. So he's trying to make it right. Do I believe anybody's going to believe that? Hell no. No one is going to be 100% believing it. Do I believe it? It doesn't really matter if I believe it or not. He did it. And I know that when he went back to the company, he probably knew that sooner or later this was going to come up. Even if they said, oh, if you don't want to go, you don't have to. I was definitely sure he was going to agree to it. Not because he's a yes man, but he wanted to do the right thing. He spoke ill of the company. He spoke ill of a lot of people like The Miz sucking a dick. And he even apologized about saying, roughly speaking, he nothing but a dick sucker. He apologized to that. Like I said, he owned up to it. There was no way he wasn't going back after all the changes he's gone through in the last couple of years. So this is what we got. Now, let's make this very clear. We got nothing new. Nothing new. Yes, you could say Hikuleo was new, but then not, because we knew he was coming. I know you're going to say, well, Tomaloa is new, but yes, he came back. Nothing new. It is all the status quo, and that's all they want to do. Particularly, they got so many pay-per-views stacked back to back to back to back. I wish they didn't have so many pay-per-views, because then at least they would book it better. Because we would have more enjoyment. But remember, like I said, and I'm not going back on anything I've said, Silver Lake WWE is only about this. Even more so now that Vince is gone. Look, when you saw and I did watch the segment when the Dr. Thugonomics came on. I watched and I said, that was cool. But if you guys watched that video that was on SmackDown of CM Punk coming out in a baseball jersey, did you notice what was on his shoulder? Did you notice what was on his shoulder? It was not from any other team. That was the Motorola symbol on his fucking shoulder. Money. They wanted him to go out there and show that they're affiliated with Motorola. And that was on his jersey. Money means more to WWE than anything else. Nothing else matters. Look, R-Truth is back. What happened to Ron Killings? And yes, you could say Malachi said, hey, Ron. No. Why the announcers calling him R-Truth? Why are the graphics saying R-Truth? Bullshit. They've ruined something special for me personally. Do I believe they're going to book him correctly? Maybe. But I'm going to tell you this. They only care about money. And R-Truth, they can easily patent. Or more, basically, since he was R-Truth. And then Ron Killings, they don't want that. They want them to use what they created there, not what he was. And they should have. But this is just me. Peace.